Alright, check some audio levels. That looks pretty good. Hey, folks in the Discord, make some noise.
Woo! Yeah, baby, let's go!
The quiet riot, but yes.
Alright, levels seem pretty good, so I think we are live. Hello, folks in the chat. Hello, Theo. Welcome, everybody. Woe unto you and yours. Welcome to the final tabletop stream of the month of October, where we are playing a perennial favorite, BORG.
Yeah,
Let's go around the table and do some quick introductions tonight. I am, as always, your horrible host, Heretic Soul, and I go by he, him. I'm joined tonight by Abbott.
Hey there, I'm Abbott. I go by he, him as well, and I am excited to return to the MÖRK board table for the second year in a row.
And by Jared.
Jared, she, her pronouns, and I'm glad for this to be my second ever BORG session, and skullduggery and shenanigans ensue.
Yeah, baby.
Hell yeah. And tonight we will be, let me switch over here to the game itself. Tonight we are, this band of miscreants and wretches is joining me for, that's the game screen, not the book screen. There's the book screen. Graves Left Wanting, a BORG adventure designed for either to be a one-shot launching point for a party or an adventure that you can play post-total party kill. So, go ahead and put on some background music here, but let's go ahead and get started. So, before we do character introductions, let's go ahead and do a quick safety discussion. So, BORG is a game about pure black metal aesthetics here at the end of a dying world. Content warnings for tonight, as you can see from if you put in the info command in the chat, are death, corpse mutilation, violence, blood, and guts. I probably should have put drug use in there, because there's definitely some, like, mushroom taking and weed smoking in BORG.
Yeah, baby.
I've not checked if we have any herbalists in the party tonight, but there's a non-zero chance. And just bugs. There's gonna be bugs. Not super gross bug stuff, but, like, there'll be bugs. So, before we get started, everyone, thank you, of course, for joining me. Let's do a quick safety discussion. As always, one of the safety rules that we have in effect is the X card, which is, hey, if something is ever making you uncomfortable for any reason at all, you may play the X card, which is you can just say, hey, I want to play the X card. You can put X card in chat, DM me, whatever you like. Just say, hey, I don't like where this is going. I prefer we took a step back, and we will go ahead and rewind the scene and start from a better place and do things differently. We're all here to have a bad time, but we're here to have a good bad time, you know?
Yeah.
All right. And so with that, let's go to the second part of our quick safety discussion, which is lines and veils. I think both of you are familiar with it, but for those in chat who are unfamiliar, lines and veils is a system whereby we say, define what our lines and veils are. A line is a line we don't cross. It's something we don't want in the game. A veil is something we throw a veil over. It's something that we are okay having in the game, but we'd like to turn away from it when it happens. Acknowledge that it's there and move on. So with that, let's do a quick lines and veils discussion. If there's anything you are uncomfortable saying out loud in the Discord channel, in the Discord chat, there is a lines and veils channel. That's where I'm going to write down everything that we say here. You can type something in there without saying it out loud. This channel will never be shared on stream.
All right.
Yeah.
So I know a popular one with good reason around here is no violence of a gendered or racial nature, and no violence against children. Pretty happy with that one. I think that's served us well in the past. I'd like to put it in there again.
Yeah.
For veils, I usually say trypophobia. You know what? I'm feeling a little bold tonight. I'm gonna leave that one out of veils. If there be holes in these bug nests that we're maybe exploring, I will live with it.
Okay. Any others? I think you got one of my kind of default one.
Yeah, that works for me. Always the defaults are as usual. The only veil that I might have would be like self-mutilation or suicide.
It's a good one.
Can do. Okay, and I guess I should throw in one more content warning. Although this almost comes as kind of a given with more board, but I'll say it out loud anyways. We are going to be we are going to be dealing directly tonight with the miseries that befall the world at its very end. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat there. So, with that, anything else before we get started?
Nobody told me there was going to be misery. I want out. This sucks.
You were looking up the miseries 5 minutes ago. Don't play that card with me. You specifically said, I'm going to look up the miseries in my board.
Listen, the stream can neither confirm nor deny that, okay?
That's true. No one can prove
happen
anything.
As far as the stream knows. You might be making that up. It's slander.
We're having a good time. For those on the stream, I'm drinking the same beer that I tried last night during the Darkest Dungeon stream. It's still very smoky. It's still very good.
Ooh, sounds really good. What are you drinking?
So I don't know if you were on when I mentioned this, but it's a smoked brown ale by a brewery called Vox and Hops, which I believe they made like in conjunction with a metal band whose name I don't recognize. But yeah, what I said last night and what holds true is like it tastes a little bit like drinking smoked Gouda. They're not fucking around with the smoke part.
Really, that sounds really good, actually.
It's intense, but I think the side of the fence I've come down on is I like it and it's good.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And yeah, for those in chat, so since I haven't usually been saying this before streams, but hello, thank you all for being here. I'm not going to be interacting with chat too much tonight, just because I'm going to be putting a lot of my attention into GMing. I'll sometimes throw stuff into chat, but hey, glad you're here. And just if there's a follow or something and I don't react, that's why. I'll do my best to say thank you to everybody at the end, though. All right, so with that, let's dive on right into it. So,
go.
Hop on over to the character screen there, where we now have 2 characters to meet. So, before we actually, I got an idea, which is I'm going to do an introduction to the campaign, and then we'll meet our characters within the campaign. I did not mean to switch to the standby screen, because Jesus, Heretic, get your shit together. Alright. So, a brief introduction. BORG takes place on a continent encircled by the Endless Sea. In the north of the continent are the great dark forests of Sarkash, next to which is the Palace of the Shadow King, and in the shadow of the palace and the woods is the largest graveyard known to humanity, the plains-spanning graveyard of Graven Tosk. That is where our adventure begins tonight. An immense cemetery, older and greater than memory, Graven Tosk sits in Sarkash like a festering scab. To the east, the Shadow King's manse looms always, impossibly equidistant. Although abandoned since the palace's ruination, bodies somehow keep finding their way inside. All the while, living and unliving attempt to claw their way out. And it is in a similar situation that you two find yourselves on this very day, night. No one has seen the sun in years, and the difference is academic at this point.
Oh, we're clawing our way out of a grave.
You awaken in a small box with a loosely fit lid. Pushing upon the lid, the lid is easily pushed off, but in doing so, you are showered with dank earth and find yourself staring up from the bottom of a 6-foot deep hole at a square of wan light, the sky above you. You spend several minutes attempting to claw your way up the sides of this grave and out into the rancid air, looking about to find yourselves in the dank mists of Graven Tosk. Headstones stretching as far as the eye can see, seemingly no end in sight, and no one else to be seen. Well, for now at least. In moments, your wandering through the headstones will bring you to each other. And with that, let's meet our 4 unfortunate souls who have found themselves at the bottom of a grave here in Graven Tosk.
Are we in pain, in need?
That's up to you.
Okay.
Whether you are here because the party you were with died and you met an unfortunate end, or perhaps you were brought here by accident, perhaps you simply stumbled here as a result of a particularly wild bender and literally walked your way drunkenly into a grave. That is up to the players to decide. For now, let's go ahead and meet those players. So, hey Jared, would you mind introducing us to your character?
Atla, a heretical priest.
Oh shit, are you a heretical? I'm also a heretical priest. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
I oh, please continue. Sorry.
Yeah, I uh, I don't know. This isn't the first time that this has happened. I'm just more pissed that the dirt that they used was kind of cheap.
All right. Character voice. Hold on. Yes, this is just as I foresaw. Yes, Skullbert, my one friend in the world. And I'm talking to a skull that I'm holding in my hand. You and I, yes, we are living the prophecy given to us by our god Nesrubel. I am Arvant, a heretical priest of a secret Bergen Crypt church. And I hold in my hand Skullbert, my trusted skull friend, and the blasphemous Nechrubel Bible, which I assume I'll get to use at some point tonight.
Almost assuredly. Awesome. So we do have somebody with a familiar, and your familiar is a skull you carry with you.
It's my best friend. The book
Is your
says
best
it's
friend?
my best
Excuse
friend.
me. Well, I'm sorry. I did not mean to.
No
did
one
not mean to insult
understands
you
me
or Skullbert that
except
way.
the skull. Thank you. Do not insult Skullbert.
I would never. I would never. I would never.
God bless. I'm putting that as a veil, insulting Skullbert.
Very good. So, your goal tonight is to find yourself out of the labyrinthine paths and twists and crypts of Graven Tusk. No easy task for sure. I am going to modify some of the time spans and adventures or time spans and traveling between locations, rules for traveling between locations, brain, get it together, that are laid out in the adventure, because there are a couple things I wanted to play with. I've never played like a long game of BORG, and I've decided, you know what? Graven Tusk is huge. It's going to take you a while to get from place to place. So, there are not that many locations named locations in Graves Left Wanting, but it will take you some time to travel between them. In fact, we are going to say that every time you change locations, a day will pass. And that is partially so that we can engage with, as mentioned before, a mechanic that I've wanted to use for a while and haven't, which is that we are going to roll for miseries on the calendar of Necrobel.
All right.
So
amazing.
Here's how this will work. I will roll a d4 at the start of every day, and we start here at day 1. Start of every day, I will roll a d4. If the result is evens, then no miseries occur that day. If the result is odds, then we roll for a misery, and the world comes one step closer towards its end.
Shit. All right.
We have rolled a 1, which means that I will now roll a d66 on the calendar of Necrobel to find out what miseries befall the world today. Let me get that pulled up. Roll.
Lovely, another Tuesday.
Yeah. I turned to
There we
Skullbert and I'm like, another Tuesday, am I right?
Oh yes, by the way, if I haven't mentioned, I'm a nihilist. Both of you. Yes.
Ugh. I make like an ugh and roll my eyes at Skullbert.
Powerful.
But to you, I say, to each their own.
A 5 and a 2. Very good, very good. The tree shall wither, shrivel, and die.
Oh.
That. Add 1 marker to this page to mark 1 misery. Find where I put the... Do y'all know how many fucking tokens I have in Roll20? It's kind of ridiculous.
Is it a lot?
Actually, it's a lot. Oh dang, there was 1 token I forgot to upload. Heck, alright, give me 1 second.
You said our misery is the tree shall wither and die?
Yes, this is misery. This is Psalm 5, number 2. So 5-2 in the book on the calendar of Necro.
Perfect.
Oh, at least it's not verse 3. That one was such a bore.
Yeah, same as the first, I've heard.
Second verse, indeed. Oh yes, by the way, I'm also a nihilist.
Yes, so you have said.
Repeated once for Skullbert's sake.
Yeah, Skullbert was out of earshot last time.
All right, so So you meet and set off for the two of you meet. Do you have any additional words other than you're a nihilist upon your first greeting?
Wait, hold on. Are we from the same church? Are you also from the secret Bergen Crypt church?
No, I come from the Temple of Unfortunate Undead.
Ugh. No wonder you're a nihilist. You unfortunate undead. I don't trust you.
Yeah, it's all the same.
Yes, yes, all your nihilism. I get it. Can you believe this guy, Skullbert? It's crazy. All right.
All right. Well,
That's
let's find. So together, you set off on the winding paths through Graven Tosk. I keep wanting to say Baron Crypt because Baron Crypt is a metal as hell name, but you're not in Baron Crypt. You're in Graven Tosk. No. BORG is wild.
Yes, it is.
So you set off along the winding paths through Graven Tosk, and you find your. Let us find out where you find yourselves first. Actually, first, let's find out what happens to you on the path. 10. One of you
That's good,
experiences
right?
a sensory strangeness. Let's find out which one.
Ooh.
Alright. Then... Sorry, moving something aside on the screen here. One day I'll be organized in a tabletop game. One day.
No worries.
Along the path, got character names. Arvant, you are struck by the smell of wet dog, almost overpowering, though there are no canine companions to be seen.
I drink it in visibly.
Gross.
I smell it, and I get down on all fours and attempt to track the scent as if I'm channeling the dog. Oh, and I put Skullbert on my head while I'm doing this. He's riding me.
Wild.
Do I find any wet dog?
Nope. There are no dogs to be seen. Just the almost overpowering smell. Abruptly.
Okay, I lick the ground just to be sure.
Ground tastes like wet dirt.
Well, that's not wet dog. All right, I resume my original posture and traveling companion relationship.
And as you both begin your walk, you think upon something that each of you has heard about Graven Tosk. That window's up. Katla, you have heard tell that the mist plays tricks on the mind here among the headstones. And Arvant, you have heard tell.
The same thing?
I'm gonna re-roll because I'd like to have two different results, if that's all right. You have heard tell that the dead sleep well to a magical instrument's music.
All right.
Whether or not you believe these to be true or false is up to you, but they are rumors you have heard half-whispered. So then, moving onwards.
Wait, I attempt to blow into Skullbert to see if that is the magical instrument.
Does Skullbert make any noise when you blow into Skullbert like an instrument?
Yeah, it's just like the torpid sound of like wind blowing through a series of obstructions.
I see. So not terribly.
Yeah, I mean it sounds really good to me, but you know I got my own thing going on.
Not quite music that soothes the beast's soul.
Well, I mean I feel like I'm pretty beastly, but that's neither here nor there. Nothing happens externally.
Fair enough. The first place you stumble across is well, that seems fitting. Get the map up here.
So sad.
While wandering through the winding paths, you stumble across a not unexpected sight. A massive pit in the ground. accompanied by a repugnant smell, illuminated by moonlight the color of soured milk. The plague pit is encircled by soupy fog whose tendrils occasionally creep down into the bottom. The bottom of the pit are corpses in various stages of decay. Also at the bottom,
is that
you think...
good?
At the bottom of the pit, you also believe that you can see a small hole leading in like a narrow passage in the side of the plague pit. Oh.
It smells like Janet from accounting.
What the fuck is accounting?
Oh, have you ever been down there where you're trying to count fingers and then sometimes they fall off? Like addition and subtraction. That's accounting, basically.
Oh, that's so bad when they fall off. It's already difficult to count more than 17. I can't afford to lose those fingers.
Right? Sometimes I forget that I don't have thumbs. They're mainly just my toes.
Yes. So you're saying we should go down there? Because that's what I heard.
Fuck no.
Well, why not?
Because Janet never gave me cookies when I was trying to count. She was always so mean to me.
What the fuck is a cookie?
Oh, you poor, unwashed, unclean dead dude. No, instead, because this shit definitely smells a lot like Janet. I don't trust her. She had weird, shifty eyes. I'm going to use my trusted companion, these bunches of rocks in my pocket.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and make a roll, Andrew, for something.
Well, tell me,
Skullbert, what are you
rolling?
you?
What are you rolling for? Oh, you're.
I just want to find out what
laying around
Skullbert tells me to do.
Sure, go for it.
All right, great. All right, Skullbert tells me to go into the pit.
All right, do you descend into the pit?
I would never ignore Skullbert's advice.
Well, then we come to our first roll of the game. So let me think about what this is going to be for a second. All right. This is going to be... Alright, so, welcome to BORG, everybody. The way that rolls work in this game, as a refresher, is that I will give you a difficulty rating and an ability that you are rolling against. You will then roll a d20 plus or minus the appropriate modifier for that ability. And that, whether or not you roll over that number will determine the result. As a reference point, a air quotes normal roll has a difficulty rating of 12. Something that is 18 should not be possible, and something that is 6 should be so simple people laugh at you for failing. Arvant, I am going to say, give me an agility test at difficulty rating 8, and if you should fail, you should stumble into a particularly bony set of corpses at the bottom and injure yourself for 1d2 damage.
Ooh, worth it to get to see the bone zone. Okay, so, let's roll that.
And you are unsuccessful.
Hold on. Wait. Can I use an omen for this?
I mean, you can use an omen. It feels a bit early in the day for omens.
Yeah, it feels a bit early, doesn't it?
But you could use an omen. I mean, you could.
Right.
I can't stop you.
I'm just gonna explore the bone zone.
That's fine. I mean, listen, if you don't want to take that damage, is rough in BORG. If you didn't want to take that damage, you could redo that roll.
I'm cool with it. I'm cool.
Very good. All right, let's find out how much damage. It's gonna be a D4 divided by 2.
Ah, not that bad.
All right, that's going to be a 1. So you take 1 damage.
All right, 1 it is. I'm at 8 of 9. Still pretty hardy, all things considered. And in fact, so I sort of hook Skullbert onto a vertical bone that seems like pretty secure, and use Skullbert to like hoist myself up. And once I'm standing, I reach into my pocket and I pull out the blasphemous Necrubel Bible. It is so intensely blasphemous, even the priests themselves can only peruse it once per day. So this is my once per day. When read, I roll a die. On an even result, for the rest of the day, PCs heal D4 HP after just 5 minutes of rest. On an odd result, the priest is plagued by demonic hallucinations. You may invent D3 things only I can see and describe them to me as if true.
I see.
Lasts until the rest of the day. So, or lasts for the rest of the day. So, I'm gonna just give it a D2, if that's all right with you.
By all means.
All right, that is an odd result. I'm plagued by demonic hallucinations. Oh no. All right.
All right.
How many things do I hallucinate?
1 second.
Okay.
Actually, let me just pull it up. This was, last was Necrobell Bible.
Yeah, it's under the heretic
Played by
priest
Mari,
section of the book.
E3 things. Got it. I had gotten slightly sidetracked reading the rules for armor because I forgot how armor comes into play.
Oh yeah, how does that come into play? Do I get any bonus for that?
For this test, I don't think so. But let me.
Okay.
Ah, I see. No, you can in fact roll on. Well, you don't have to roll on that actually because it's impossible. So, if you have armor, so if you have, for example, light armor, you would subtract 1d2 worth of damage for any damage you take. For medium armor, you'd subtract 1d4's worth of damage for any damage you take, and for heavy armor, you subtract 1d6 worth of armor, etc., etc. You have light. What do you have? Light armor?
I have scale armor, which is minus d4 damage.
Okay, that's medium armor. So it is worth noting. You do take, on agility tests, you do take difficulty rating +2 then.
Yeah, okay, so we didn't account for that, apologies.
We didn't account for that, but you did roll, you would have rolled below, you roll below it anyways, and you only rolled 1 damage, so actually you have taken none damage.
Nice, great. I just banged my plate mail into somebody else's ribcage.
Yeah. It hurt real bad, but it didn't actually damage your head.
Yeah, it didn't feel good, but whatever, Skullbert got me.
It's true. Alright, so I'm going to roll a d6 and divide it by 2.
Great.
That is a 3, so that falls under 1.
Alright. What hallucination do I experience?
1 demonic. Hallucination. Indeed. I wonder if there's a table for this. I'm actually going to search the book to see if there's a table for this, because that'd be fun.
Okay.
Alas. No table in the core book for hallucinations.
Bummer.
BORG is a system with lots of splat books for new rollable tables that you can put horrible things into. It's very fun. Demonic hallucinate. I think. How long does this last for? Only the priest can see and describe them to the player as if true. Every time you look at the headstones, they appear to be in a different position. And you are unable to navigate on the path through the headstones.
Okay, through the headstones, but in the pit, I'm still good.
Sure, yes.
Okay,
you will not be able to. I mean, that's not to say like you can't go anywhere in. I mean, yeah, you can't go anywhere in Graven Tosk anymore by yourself, because if you do, you'll get horribly lost, and not because every time you turn around, the path looks different.
Oh no, I'm not alone. I have Skullbert.
Well, thank goodness for that.
Okay. So I turn up to the top of the pit, and I say, "Come, my sibling, come! The graves swirl about us. We have no hope of advance through them. Come down to the pit and join me in the bones of our brothers and sisters." And I begin to backstroke through the bones.
Katla, the scene is disgusting, but you do think you can see valuables glittering under some of the corpses in the pit.
While this is happening, I'm looking down and seeing this buffoon like swimming amongst rib cages and like random like weird melted detritus, and
Also,
I'm
Also, a lot of what's in the pit is still fairly solid, so it's him, like, doing the backstroke on top of bodies and moving across them very awkwardly. Imagine trying to swim in, like, a pile of pillows. Doesn't work.
If Katla could roll her eyes, they would be, like, in the back of her head at this time, but they're kind of, like, a little bit flopping out tiny bit on one side. And like, as I hear my companion, like, beckoning me to come down, I've been, like, engrossed in a conversation with a skull, like, about, like, why nihilism is, like, the best, and, like, just being the most hipster, undead person of, like, letting them know exactly why I'm a nihilist, and that, like, I'm a nihilist, like, every other sentence.
She is just fucking on it.
Very important to know.
It is. And before I step down and look at this strange priest in rags, like, trying the spectacle of them and hearing the cracking of, like, bones and, like, random dirt is funny. But I'm pretty suspecho of all that's happening down in this random pit, because I don't trust any of these people. They look a lot like they look and smell a lot like Janet. So I want to take out like a handful of bones, the stones taken from the Fel Imas Lost Temple, and each of the stones are like just plain-looking river rocks, but all of them have a skeleton hand with its middle finger pointed up or down, and depending on the orientation, drastically changes like what the stones mean. And I'm gonna I'm gonna throw them on the ground on the precipice of the pit, just to see if there's anything weird or dangerous in the next room.
Right. So that is going to be presence, difficulty rating 10.
Awesome.
Cool. Do I roll a d10?
Yes.
Cool.
There you go. 7.
Ah.
Or sorry, no. What was I saying? You roll a d20, and you were trying to roll above a 10. I don't know why I told you to roll a d10. That's my bad.
No worries, that was
all
my
over
fault.
today.
Ah. D1, D20. Oof.
Oh my god.
6. Unsuccessful.
I hope we're spending our bad luck, like, right at the start here.
Okay.
Cannot test again until the sun has set.
Yep. Do the stones lie to me?
Hmm. Yeah. As presence d10 to see if they are true. The stones say there is no danger in the adjacent room, and you can't tell if they are lying or not.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's like an equal number of like middle fingers going up and middle fingers going down on the stones, and I just kind of go, screw it, pick them up and put them in my pocket, and I start walking down a path that is like few rib cages, but more legs involved.
Legs for days. Got 'em.
Legs for days.
All right, so you are in the bottom of the plague pit, and actually, now seems like a good time. So our third is here, and this is kind of egg on my face. I totally put the wrong time on Twitter earlier, and that confused one of our players, who is now here.
Excellent.
We'll only get in here.
Hey, can I just say, while we're having a little pause here,
Yeah.
Jared, I am really enjoying this so far. Thank you so much for hamming it up with me.
Oh, you're quite welcome. I love this stuff. Like, staying in character to me is like, is just adding like to the narrative.
Okay, I super.
Hello.
Yeah.
No, that's partially on me. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I
Yeah.
typed 8 until I haven't pointed it out.
Yeah. So it's okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna. It super messed me up, but I was at the gym, and I am going to spend this weekend figuring out why I don't get push notifications when Discord's open on a computer.
Oh,
Hey,
fascinating.
it do be like that sometimes. I've actually had the exact same thing happen to me. So.
It do be like that.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was like, oh man, I'm about to be so bummed. I'm not even gonna eat this pie, but now I am.
You should
Yeah,
eat
you
that
better
pie.
eat
You
that
should
pie.
not. You should not eat that pie.
Yeah, I'm so down.
Eating pie is self-care.
Eating pie is so good. All right, I need to get the website up.
So
Absolutely.
while you're
You'll
doing that,
stumble.
hello. We are joined by our third Baloney Shinobi, who
It's me.
is never too late to join a game more BORG.
Okay. Where's this good further?
It is honestly one of the best systems, I think, for literally dropping in like the moment you walk in the door.
So I had forgot to
Okay.
bring this up earlier, although everyone's pretty high HP, so this might not come into play, but the possibility does exist. If someone dies on this adventure, the possibility does exist to roll a new random character on Scumbirther, and just be a new person that you meet in the next room.
Okay. I'm
Down.
going with this. Actually, I'm not going with this one. I got a problem with you. I like you.
While we're doing
I
that,
don't
hey
like the
folks,
way his name-
folks at home, if you want to see a bit of what more BORG's about, here's a link to a website that just you click a button, you get a more BORG character. It's how we play most of the time, and it's really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was not a fan of the way the other guy's name started with a U, but this guy's pretty sick.
Understandable. So we also have a character. There should be a character sheet for you in Roll20 if you want. I think you have the link to the game.
Yeah. A minute. Let me close all of these.
Oh, no worries.
All right. It's me. All right. Oh shit! Forgot about the music. Okay. I'm gonna read up on my character real quick, but I'm in.
All right, cool. While you do that, I'm gonna hop out real quick. I got a seltzer calling my name in my fridge.
Ooh, yeah,
Oh,
grab
that sounds delicious.
So we are joined by a third, which means that as Arvant is doing the backstroke across a pile of corpses in the bottom of the plague pit, someone underneath them stirs and awakens.
It is me. Help! I'm drowning in these bones.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So Baloney, tell us a bit about your character.
Well, the dude's name's Bellum, and he's a hermit. He comes from a stone cave. Likes quiet stuff, but he's kind of a dick. That's like the high level.
I don't think there are any nice characters in Morkborg.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Well, I guess maybe comparatively, he's just normal level of dick.
Excellent.
Also, you are an sorry, did you say you were an esoteric hermit?
Yeah.
Good. So he was in fact born on a mountain and raised in a cave. And the rest is history.
The rest is history.
Oh, one of those weirdos who actually has, an actual dick and not just pelvis muscles.
Oh my god, who the fuck has a dick in this economy?
In this
Oh,
economy.
Whenever you live off the land, you get off the grid, you don't have to give your dick to the man.
Some dire world building happening. All right, Baloney, what was your character's name again?
Bellum, B-E-L-U-M.
Bellum. All right, and yeah, if you want to go ahead and just punch the details from that into a character sheet and Roll20, we can have that on hand. But yeah, Bellum, you awaken in the bottom of a plague pit with a layer of bodies atop you in the great graveyard of Graven Tosk. How you got here is up to you, whether or not